Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about table relationships over here because in your assignment you're going to have to create a relationship. And I want to demystify it for you a little bit. Um, I'm going to present you here with a very simple access database with two tables. One is called artist and one is called inventory. And we're going to create a relationship between these two tables, meaning they'll become aware of each other's content, and then you'll be able to do stuff like create queries with them. It's a lot easier to demonstrate than to explain. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So let's take a quick look at these two tables, right? So here's the artists table. In the artists table, each artist is shown only once. It's a little like having a database of the students in a classroom, and I just have their names in that particular table only once. It's like an attendance list. Okay, so this is the artists table. Now, in the inventory table, it shows each artist's works. Now, an artist can have one album, an artist can have 10 albums. So the bottom line is each artist from this table can be referenced by their works one or more times in this table. So, for the sake of terminology, the artists table will be referred to as the one table because each artist is referred to only once, and the inventory table will be referred to as the many table because each artist's works can be referenced one or more times. They can be referenced in this table many times. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the fields here. You notice in the artist table there's an artist ID table, an artist first, artist last, and group. Okay? In the inventory table there is the recording, ID, title, track, wholesale, retail, and artist. Now, the two tables have very little in common with each other in terms of field names. They're mostly different except for one field, artist ID. Both tables have one common field. That will be artist ID. Okay? And that will make the relationship possible. Okay? In the artist table, the artist ID for each artist showing up only once is known as that table's primary key. Let me go to the design view. This is the primary key. See the little key right next to it? Okay, because in this table, this artist ID shows up only once and is always unique. Access uses that particular field to make sure that every record is absolutely unique. It makes searching easier and sorting easier for Access. Okay, now in the inventory table over here, you have that common field, the artist ID field. Okay, in this particular table, because the artist can be referenced more than once, it's not the primary key. It's known as the foreign key. The inventory table has its own primary key. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close these tables out, and I'm going to create the relationship. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Database Tools, and I'm going to go to Relationships. And what I get here is a representation of the two tables. So here's the representation of the Artist ID table and representation of the Inventory table. Notice that Artist ID has a little key next to it, and there is also the Artist ID field over here. All right. The way to create a relationship is actually very easy. All I do is go to the one table, which is the artist's table, and grab its primary key. Okay, and I'm going to click and hold, and I'm just going to drag down and let it go over its related common field, artist ID, in the inventory table, and let it go. Now this is very important. You get this little dialog here, Edit Relationships. This box here, enforce referential integrity, is very important. And referential integrity means that if in the one table an artist is referenced more than one or more times in the inventory table, I am not allowed to delete that record in the artists table, in the one table. Okay, so let's say Michael Bolton is in the artists table, and he's got 6 albums in the inventory table. I am not allowed to delete Michael Bolton from the artists table because he's referenced in the other table. Okay, if I'm going to do that, I have to delete the relationship or delete all of Michael Bolton's records in the inventory table. So I'm just going to go ahead and enforce referential integrity. I'm just going to hit create. And now the relationship is created. Notice the 1 by the artists and the infinity sign by inventory, because theoretically each artist can be infinitely referenced in this table. Okay? And this is how you create a one-to-many relationship in Access. If you have any problems with the explanation I gave you, because it's not the most immediately easy thing to understand, then please give me a holler and I'll be happy to show it to you again. Okay? Thanks.